to infinity and beyond. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm moving a little slow today. For a dad of a 2.5-year-old, just about, and a 1-year-old, we are upgrading. I'd say it's upgrading, but I'm not sure it's upgrading. We watch a lot of kids shows. We watch a lot of Elmo. We watch a lot of Miss Rachel. We watch a lot more Elmo, and a lot more Elmo. And I kind of enjoy Elmo, and I think watching Elmo, even though he didn't exist when I was a kid, watching Sesame Street brings me back to happy memories. Hello, Chippy. And my wife's getting tired of Elmo. And again, we watch a lot. I don't blame her. She was going up. The kids were in bed. I was kind of happily reminiscing on my Elmo day. I watched Sesame Street before Elmo even existed. But just, I was bathing in the glory that is fatherhood, and that I'm blessed with two little ones who are getting me to relive the dad experiences again. And I'm getting to watch all the kids shows, which I got a big soft spot. And so I still can watch Elmo, and maybe my wife's around it more than I. But anyway, the two kids were in bed, and she was going to shower upstairs. And I was sitting there kind of happily. I think I was editing videos the other night and happily watching Elmo and glad that it was on. And I had the remotes. If I wanted to change it, I could. And as she goes up, she goes, "Here, give me the remote. I want to change. I want to turn this off." And I go, but you're going upstairs. She goes, "Yeah, I know, but just having it on is going to bother me." So, Big Red, One USA Army. Greg Plitt's son thinks I'm Michael Jordan. He's never seen me on the basketball court. And yeah, there was no Elmo when I watched. And honestly, good morning, Audrey. Good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. Hello, Sandra Lynn. It is Sunday morning. It is 8:03. I'm getting my introduction started a little early because I kind of fell into it, and it was a smooth transition. Hello, Kayla. Ryan Whitman, thank you so much for following the live creator. But again, it's Sunday morning. It is October 8th. Happy Sunday to you. Thank you for the rose everlasting bloom. I appreciate it. And Ryan Whitman, thank you so much for following the live creator. Love having people follow along in my journey and my little story and my little morning talk show that I do live at pretty much every, Chippy, hey, Chippy, thank you for the hat, that I do every morning at 8 o'clock live Central Standard Time. And this is a show about me talking. It is a show about me sharing some ups and downs we have in life, sharing just a little bit silly stories that we all have in life. And again, I don't know if I have sillier stories than you do or the average person, or I'm just crazy enough to share my silly stories and the ups and downs and the experiences we have. And a lot of them are fun little ones where I'll talk about, and I never even got to the point. The point was we watched so much Elmo, we're transitioning to Buzz Lightyear. Or whatever the show's called, Toy Story 1. We're watching Toy Story 1, and it was just on in my house, and I had to scurry out of here and leave the show, which is a really good movie, and come on out here and start talking. So when I pushed live this morning, the first thing I thought of was To Infinity and Beyond, which Chippy says he cried during Toy Story 3. It's so funny you say that, Chippy. My wife just was talking about Toy Story 3. She said she can't even watch it because she cries. I maybe got to watch it again. But I'm so enjoying Toy Story 1, I don't want to leave. I still get excited every time when Buzz Lightyear falls with style throughout his room. And he does it with his eyes closed. It's such a good show. Oh, hello, Ryan Allen. Hello. Yeah, hey, Ryan, it was great seeing you. And I'll tell you what, you got something about you. And I think you probably realize it. You got something really cool about you. My cousin's son Ryan just tuned in, and we're at a service yesterday, and Ryan's got something to him. He's got something about him. And I don't get to tell you this, but I'm going to say it, and this won't mean anything to most of you, but there's something special about that Ryan Allen. And okay, my wife just said Evie loves you. He's got a charisma to him. He's got a something. He's got a genuineness, embrace you-ness, a good soulness, a talk show host, a game show host. He's just got a charm and a charisma that jumps out. And I remember about, I don't know, probably 8-10 years ago, my Uncle John passed. And Ryan, I don't know how old he was at the time, he was probably 15 years old. He got up and spoke at the service. And I didn't know him that well at this time. But I was just impressed that a teenager, and again, I'm not sure exactly how old he was or how long ago it was, would have the moxie to get up and speak at his uncle's service. And again, he's always impressed me. And Ryan, it was great seeing you. Yeah, and it was a great service. And your mom did a great job. Ken got some ideas to promote CWK throughout Naperville. It's interesting you say that, Chippy. Do you want to be called Chippy? Sounds like I'm demeaning to you. I don't know. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining. Thank you all so much for joining, RJ. Thank you, Jordan Thomas. Yeah, we could talk about that. Do we want to promote around Naperville? I don't know that we do. Or do we want to go bigger? I don't know. Everlasting Bloom certainly doesn't think we do. And Naperville's kind of a limited audience. It's got 145,000 people, 150,000 people. You know, only 10% of the people are going to love my show. And if 10% of the people love my show, that's 15,000 Napervillians that'll be watching every day. It's the internet. Think bigger. Everlasting Bloom's throw. Down with Naperville. But anyway, I don't know where I am in the introduction. I don't know where I am. Wow, I'm getting all sorts. Where's my night helmet? I didn't see my night helmet. Apparently, RJ sent me a night helmet. There it is. That's so fun. Non-originals asking Everlasting Bloom, you don't like Naperville? I love Naperville. And I grew up in the area. And it's a beautiful town. And it's got great schools. And it's got great parks and great playgrounds and great facilities for our kids and a great downtown. But, you know, I've been here 15 years. And I don't know. Sometimes it's fun to dream. Greg says he liked Naperville in the 90s. Yeah, it certainly changed a lot. I said we find the best coffee shop in Chicago and find land and start a series. Okay. Thank you, Kenergy. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, because I got to get to what this show's really about, we could talk all day about Buzz Lightyear and Naperville and expanding the audience internationally. But again, I think she's right. I mean, we have people from the Philippines hopping on all the time. RJ always wants to know what the coffee is. I don't know if he's like demanding. He knows I have a routine and it's something I have to say. Oh, I don't know if you're right about that, not original. But for those who have been watching a while, you know, do you know, it's not just a show about me talking. It's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. I love the anticipation. I might just drink my coffee and not even tell you what it is. You know that won't happen. I have way too big of a mouth to survive, to get through without telling it. RJ sent me a chip. Our Everlasting Bloom and RJ are going head to head, sending me gifts. I appreciate it. But anyway, for those who have been watching, well, you know, it's not just a show about me talking. It's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee in my hands, and I'm excited to have my first sip. I hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. I don't think I saw anybody guess what type of coffee it was. Nobody. Sandra Lynn wants me to open a coffee shop and make my own coffee beans. A lot of people suggest that. A lot of people suggest things like that. But despite me saying it's a show about my love of coffee, and yeah, I do, and maybe it'd be a good brand, it's not really a show. I mean, it's sort of, I don't want to say this. This might sound sacrilegious. This might sound sacrilegious. Good morning, Brian Finnegan. Brian Finnegan. I still have a $15 left on my gift card burning a hole in my pocket. I met with Brian, who just hopped on. Let me get back to the coffee. Let me have one more sip, and then I'll do the big reveal, because we're starting to see some good guesses. We got up late today. We slept till about 7, which is unheard of in this household. And it was so enjoyable. It was so enjoyable. So we brewed up a pot as we made our way downstairs, and we're still drinking that same pot. And this pot is the hazelnut coffee by Seattle's Best, and I'll tell you what, it's delicious. We've been drinking a lot of pumpkin spice lately, and a lot more pumpkin spice lately. And I think my wife probably likes the pumpkin spice a whole lot, but she probably doesn't have the heart to tell me she doesn't love it like I do. Greetings from Florida, nice girl. Good morning, Star. Hello, Cynthia Lewis. What an amazing person. Oh, Brian, that's so sweet of you to say. That's so sweet of you to say. Like I said, I met with Brian on Friday. We talked for a couple hours at Starbucks, and it's always kind of nerve-wracking meeting somebody, because you guys think you know me, and I got no clue about you, because I just see little names flying by and little comments. And I always worry like I'm going to disappoint, or I'm not going to be me, or I'm going to be in a bad mood, or whatever. And it usually works out, because this is me drinking coffee. Whether I'm one-on-one, I mean, I might ask you more questions if it's one-on-one. I know more about Brian now that I met him. I know his wife's name. Do I know where? Yes, I do know where he's from. I do know what he did professionally. I do know what he loves to do. He and Courtney, can I say that? Courtney. Courtney didn't even know what my show was. She didn't even know about my show. Going into a little too much information. Nice girl, thank you so much for following the live creator. But yes, it is the hazelnut coffee. It is Seattle's Best. And I talk a lot. I do enjoy Starbucks coffee, and my favorite coffee, although I was going to say it's the Sumatra. And I'm still going to say my favorite non-flavored coffee is the Sumatra from Starbucks. But I had a pot of the Morning Joe yesterday, and I realized the difference between the Morning Joe from Starbucks and the Sumatra that I've always called my favorite. And RJ said his wife prefers Morning Joe, and I could see that. Morning Joe's a big coffee, but it even gets off the... It's just coffee, where Sumatra adds dirt and dried up leaves and various things that give it extra flavor, but it's without that, and it was nice. But anyway, the Seattle's Best is awesome, and it was on sale, and I'm a value shopper, and it was 2 bags for $4.99 each, and Seattle's Best is a real coffee brand, and their hazelnut's delicious, so I couldn't be more pleased. And we've been running out of different varieties. For anyone wondering, oh yes, we still have the maple syrup flavor from IHOP. I should have brought it for Brian. Next person I meet for coffee, you're going to get a special gift of a 2/3 bag of IHOP maple syrup. RJ has 3 bags extra leaves. Well, okay, not original. I don't know if you know what I mean. But, again, the Morning Joe by Starbucks. And I see why RJ likes it and see why RJ's wife likes it, because it's just coffee. But there's something extra going on, and I describe it often. I compare it to a Guinness beer versus, Heineken. Guinness almost tastes like they dumped random stuff, like dirt and earth and big dirty flavors. And you got to kind of work up to appreciating it. And if you're if you're a new coffee drinker, Sumatra is going to be too much for you. Hey, Sean, thank you so much. I appreciate you joining. I hope you have a great day as well. We have a nice little audience today. We have a nice little audience. Yeah, earthy. Maybe earthy. Maybe earthy. Everlasting Bloom says it's the AA coffee. Everlasting Bloom. I don't know if I can say this. I don't know if I should say it, so I won't. Hello, Jamia Hampton. Hello. Fall blend or IHOP? Fall blend. I might give IHOP another chance. The first day I had it, I thought it tasted sort of okay. And then, as we said, Everlasting Bloom tinged my whole experience by saying it tastes like burnt pancakes. And I don't even mind burnt pancakes. I haven't had breakfast yet. I wonder what I'm going to have for breakfast today. Nice Girl says best is good coffee. Don't see it very often. Yeah, Nice Girl, I don't know. I like that Nice Girl is a nice girl. We need more niceness in life. Oh, no. RJ's talking about blending coffee flavors. To me, and I don't drink alcohol at all, but I don't think you blend wines. You know, whoever makes the grapes and does the vineyards and picks the grapes and stores the grapes and does all this artistry probably wouldn't appreciate you going, here's a Cabernet, here's a red blend, let's just I got half a cup of each, let's put them together, and I got a full cup. They probably wouldn't appreciate it. And I don't think the artisans that pick the coffee beans would appreciate us mixing the IHOP and the French roast coffees either. IHOP is good because they're super fast. Wait, moderator muted? Nice Girl? Why would that be? Why would Nice Girl be muted? I was bonding with Nice Girl. Do half maple and half pumpkin. It will make a fall donut. Sandra Lynn, what a great idea. What a great idea. But no, I don't blend coffees. I liked it straight. I like it straight. Hello, Kyle. Thank you so much for joining. Chef Chippy wants to make me lunch someday this week. I'd be afraid. But anyway, how you doing? How you feeling? It's so funny. I used to do this show before I went live every day and would just sit here and talk to my camera and do up to it started as a 3-minute show. And then I realized, then TikTok expanded and you went from a 3-minute limitation to 10-minute. And I thought that was really neat. And I could do my intro. I could say some thoughts. I could talk about how I slept. In every show, and if you go a year back, if you care to, and go a year back and watch my old shows, it's just me staring straight at the camera. Hello, Bernice. Me staring straight at the camera, kind of talking without any hello, good morning, Jack Taylor joined. I wonder if that's really Jack Taylor. No, I knew. I smelled that Jack Taylor wasn't the real Jack Taylor. I smelled out Jack Taylor. But anyway, if you go a year back and watch my show, it'll be just me talking to the camera. And every point at the end of my intro, I'd go, so how you guys doing? How you feeling? How'd you sleep? And I'd kind of like to bring that back. So, how you guys doing? How you feeling? How'd you sleep? And since I used to do that on just to show to my camera, I never got any responses. Hello, Luis. Talking to the camera does save you from talking to yourself. RJ misses. I kind of miss it too. There was a certain beauty and simplicity to me just doing a show, talking to the camera. But to be honest with you, this is better. Good morning, Kendall. Hello, Luis. Hello, Heather Elaine. Oh, there was some good coffee-gasm on those. But you know why it was so good? It was because it was truly my first sip of coffee. And now I do my show live at 8 o'clock every day. And it's not my very first sip of coffee. And it's still good, and it's still special. but it's not that kind of first sip that where it like, and I talked about it before, where that first sip of coffee runs through your body and it hits your toes and then bounces back up and hits your brain and your whole body is feeling so good. Hello, Heather Elaine. Hello, Tino Test. Hello, Melinda Claycomb. Hello. How cold is it here? I don't know. Hello, Mel. I don't know how cold it is here. I would guess it's about 45 degrees. I'm wearing a light coat, and I'm wearing, I did laundry last night. I'll tell you what. We have 5 kids here, and laundry's a constant battle for us, and keeping the house clean's a constant battle. The kids don't seem to do a very good job helping with anything. And I love to teach the kids, although some of them are babies, and it's just impossible to teach the babies. I mean, they're 1 and 2.5, and they live to make messes. The problem is some of the older kids kind of do that as well, and we all obviously make our own messes. And I'm trying to teach like responsibility and taking care of ourselves and picking up after ourselves. And I try and do a pretty good job of it, although I'm not perfect. And our laundry is chaos. And I'm sure laundry seems to be like an issue for a lot of people, but our laundry is especially chaos. And over the last few days, as I saw my underwear dwindling, and it's not my wife's responsibility to do it, but I'm thinking, hey, if you happen to be taking a load and you see a pair of underwear or 2 of mine laying around, please wash them. They didn't get washed. So the last couple days, I've been going without. Oh, yes, I've been going without. But I didn't want to go without anymore. And yesterday I went to a funeral service or a memorial service for somebody. And again, I went kind of dressed up, and I went without. I didn't want to go without anymore. So I decided, okay, it's my responsibility. I'm going to do my own laundry. And normally what I do is I grab every bit of dirty clothes I have, and I make this monster pile of laundry, and I slam it all in there. And I will throw anything, all the darks together, no matter whose clothes they are or, what have you. And then sorting them's kind of a hassle. And then you have this massive mound, and you got to fold them, and it's just a mess. And last night I decided I'm going to wash a smaller load, and I'm just going to use my clothes, and it'll be easier to handle. And maybe if we look at laundry like I look at a lot of things in life and the challenges we face in life, of doing it one bite at a time and keeping them separated before we throw them in the wash, and maybe do a load of whites next, and do a load of the other half of my darks, and maybe throw in a load of the kids' PJs, or throw in a load of the Williams, I don't know, T-shirts or whatever. It'll be easier to handle. And my point is, I think if you look at the huge, overwhelming projects that we all have in life, whether it's laundry or bill paying or finding a job or finding the love of your life or buying a house or whatever big thing that seems overwhelming at the time, if we look at life as one bite at a time, things go a little smoother. And I was talking to my wife this morning about it, and there was a period about 8 months ago that I was overwhelmed with everything. I had a lot of big stuff I had to take care of, and if I looked at solving all of them as a whole, I could never get them done, and I'd be paralyzed. But I took it one bite at a time, and sometimes you got to break that one bite down to the smallest little thing. And it might be, I'm going to go brush my teeth. I'm going to pour myself a cup of coffee. And you don't plan too far ahead, because if you plan too far ahead, it suddenly looks like this big, massive mountain to climb. But what you find is after you brush your teeth, after you pour your coffee, after you get your breakfast, you suddenly are ready to tackle the next thing. And you don't even know what the next thing is when you're making that first plan. But if you do take it one step at a time and one bite at a time, I don't know, life has a way of working out. Sandra Lynn says she restarts her dryer at least 4 times because she doesn't want to fold it. Yeah, no, I'll say there's definitely times I'm glad it's still damp. And maybe I'll even imagine that the clothes in the dryer are still damp, so I don't have to pull it out and continue on. What happened? What's the sad face? Oh, I had a little visitor giving me a sad face, and I wasn't sure why. For a minute, I hoped she was bringing me a Pop-Tart or a treat or something to fill my tummy. But no, the sad face was for what she was lacking. And I had a little visitor come and pour herself some of the coffee. Again, I've talked about this pitcher before. It's a wonderful little carafe, they call it, and it takes exactly 1 pot of coffee. But when I come out to do my coffee show and fill this up, sometimes the people in the house will be left with wanting. Brian says he's looking into the lavalier night mic for me. What phone do I have? I have the iPhone 14. Dual Live, YouTube, and TikTok. I like that. I like the sound of that. Brian, I watch a lot of the videos. Do you think the audio... Does anybody out there... I mean, Brian notices it, but Brian's one of these perfectionist guys. He did a lot of editing. I think he maybe did it in college. And a lot of video production and what have you. And he suggests I get one of those little lavalier mics to make the audio quality a little higher. I like when I call it audio quality. RJ gave my audio a 6.5 out of 10. Wow. A 6.5 out of 10. That's not a very high ranking, RJ. That is not a very high ranking. Room for improvement. I guess that's a positive way to look at it. Jesus. Then a lavalier. Wow. You guys are tough. You guys are tough. I thought the trolls were tough. When you guys get authentic, when you guys get real, I'm more hurt by what the nice people are saying to me. I missed the ring light, by the way. I would lead you down the wrong path, Ken. You wouldn't lead me. Only want to help. I appreciate that. No, you didn't offend. I appreciate your honesty. Mine was faux offense. My offense was faux. Anyway, let's have a little more coffee. Tough love. Well, okay, it sounds like I need to get a fancier audio system. And I'm going to go with my wife's suggestion and get a studio in the basement. We're going to have either a green screen or maybe we'll just go with the cement, unfinished basement walls. But I'll sit there with a fancy desk. And every morning when I go live, I'm going to get a tie on. Act like I'm extremely professional. We're going to have 3 ring lights. We're going to have mics. We're going to have multiple devices. That's when I'm going to go huge. Audio first, then video calling. Well, not original. I appreciate you saying that. That's probably a good idea. We could do that today. My wife's got a black belt in Amazon Prime, and she could have that lavalier mic at our house probably before lunch. I don't know how she does it. When I go on Amazon Prime, usually they say, well, earliest delivery will be Tuesday. Not her. Somehow she gets something. If we need bacon, she could have bacon at the door. I wonder if I said we needed bacon, if she could not only have bacon at the door, but if she could... My perfect hot dog, RJ, that's a good question. Well, first of all, with the perfect hot dog, I'm going to want some brown mustard, and it's probably going to be Grey Poupon. I don't know if I have one perfect hot dog. I don't know if there is such a thing as... Well, secondly, the hot dog would be cooked on a grill and slightly burnt, because I really enjoy the nice taste of a burntness on a hot dog. If I couldn't cook it on the grill, I certainly wouldn't boil it. I would microwave it, because I think microwave hot dogs come out really, really nice. Have I been to Gene and Jude's? No, I don't believe that I have. I love a hot dog loaded with everything. But RJ just said his is a chili dog with cheese sauce and raw onions. RJ, that sounds awesome. I love a chili dog. I would love a simple dog with just brown mustard. I would love, I'm getting excited, a hot dog with sauerkraut and brown mustard. Um, Again, I like them loaded with everything that they're spilling, where you almost have a salad on there and you get a hot pepper or two, and their hot peppers are always nice and hot. Um, yeah, so I don't know if I have one perfect hot dog. Um, I bring your ketchup to Gene and Jude's. Do you really? That's funny. We watch a lot of Seinfeld lately. Uh, I think Kramer brought some maple syrup to their coffee shop and was pouring it on the pancakes. I'll tell you what, the chef did not approve of them bringing their own syrup to put on the pancakes. Although we've been talking about 30 minutes. I don't know if I've ever said any. This has been more of a conversation than, I mean, usually I have some deep thoughts. I mean, they might not be deep. They might be as deep as the kiddie pool. But I feel usually there's some heavy thoughts in there. Ever had slaw on a hot dog? Oh, yeah. Wait, coleslaw? No. Oh, no, I was thinking, Blue Sky, I appreciate the question. I've never been a huge coleslaw fan. You know, I was at this memorial service, and my dad was sitting next to me. And I won't say, but anyway, he ordered a corned beef sandwich, and they offered fries or tater tots. And I'll tell more about this story. It's not even a good story, but I'll tell it. My dad goes, "Is there anything else? You got any coleslaw?" And they brought him a side of coleslaw instead of fries. My wife ordered and then went. We had brought our baby along, our little one, and she went and either went to the washroom or was walking around with the little one. And I was surprised because the waitress, we were sitting at a huge, huge table, at the end of a huge table, and the waitress was going, I didn't hear what my wife's entree was. She goes, "And sweet potato fries." And I go, "No, that wouldn't be what she would order. I've never seen her order sweet potato fries." I go, "Oh, no, that's probably not hers." And it created a big stir, some confusion. But we eventually figured out that she did indeed get the sweet potato fries. And my brother, who was sitting over there, got tater tots. And my brother, I think we were raised very competitively. And he was 5 years older, so he was always better at everything than me because he was 5 years older. And I'm sitting there, I ordered regular French fries. And the competitive nature that is the Tracy's, he looked over and goes, "Kenny, is any part of you really jealous you didn't get the tater tots like I did?" I looked at him and I go, "No, not at all. Although I could use a little more salt for my fries," which sent out a ripple throughout this long table of going, "Oh my gosh, we need salt." And I go, "It's not a big deal. I promise you, I'm not that picky." But everyone's going, "Oh, is there salt? Where's the salt? Where's the salt?" And I was so worried they were going to get the waiter or waitress involved, because I would have been fine as they were. But eventually a salt shaker did come back, and I poured some generous amount of salt on my fries and in my ketchup so I could dip them. "Did you have loaded potatoes?" No, I did not. "Where did I eat in Elmhurst?" I see everlasting. We went to a place called Pints, which seemed like a cool bar. I'd never been. I don't hang out in Elmhurst too much. It was funny, as we were driving there, we were going through Oak Brook. I grew up in Downers Grove. I lived in the city, and now I might be getting too local for those that aren't familiar with the western suburbs of Chicago, but I'll just talk about whatever I want. We were driving through Oak Brook and by Oak Brook Mall and a bunch of the restaurants and stores along Butterfield Road, and it brought back memories because I grew up in Downers Grove, which is much closer, and I lived in the city for a while, and I lived in Lombard, and all of them are pretty local to Oak Brook, which is kind of fancy western suburb of Chicago. But I've lived in Naperville now for like 15 years, and Naperville's kind of a further western suburb, and Naperville's almost a big enough town. It is a big enough town with cool enough shopping and cool enough stores that you don't really need to go into Chicago that often anymore. And so I don't. And I don't go to Oak Brook Mall, and I don't go to any of those stores or to Elmhurst or the less, the closer to Chicago suburbs anymore. And it felt interesting just driving through, and the architecture's a little different and the homes are a little different. And Elmhurst is a beautiful, beautiful suburb, a pretty high-end suburb. But they're different, and they're slightly more urban, and it's got a cool vibe and a cool feel. Not that Naperville doesn't have a cool vibe or a cool feel, but it's just different. And it's interesting, and I like it a lot visiting. Thank you, Sandy Shepard. Windy City Dude said he's been wanting to visit the theater in Downers Grove. Go! It's the Tivoli. Hey, thank you for the coffee or the hat. You should go. You should go. Go to the bowling alley. Go to the bowling alley. If anybody out here is looking to bowl today, I used to bowl a lot on Sundays, and I think they have good specials. Go to the Tivoli Bowl. Go to the Tivoli Bowl. It's a treat. Get a beer. Get a cheap beer. A cheap beer at the bar there. It's such an old, cool 1930s to 1950s experience when you either go to the movie theater or there's the Tivoli Hotel. I don't know what type of hotel it is, but it's just so old feeling and cool, but old cool. And the theater's awesome, and the bowling alley's awesome, and downtown Downers Grove is really neat. And, well, if you have, Windy City Dude, if you really have a thing for old historical theaters, there is no cooler old historic theater in the, probably this side of the East Coast than the Tivoli. And again, if you do research on the Tivoli, I think you're going to find it is the second oldest sound playing theater, and there's one in New York City that's older. It's like the second theater in the United States that played, it's something like that played sound movies. And it's really cool, and it's really historic, and I talk about it a lot. But again, just the tiniest little details of you guys are going to think it's weird, but it's just so cool because you go in and if you're going to the bathroom, the way the sign for the men's bathroom is written, it feels like something and it probably was. That sign was probably from the 1930s, and the little curtains they have hanging around, and it just is cool, and it's just really cool. And I would highly recommend anybody that's in the western suburbs of Chicago that hasn't been to the Tivoli, go down, get some coffee, walk around downtown Downers Grove, get there a couple hours before the movie, maybe get some dinner and bring a date, maybe get some ice cream. There's an ice cream shop right across from the Tivoli. It's a neat downtown, and the Tivoli Theater is worth a visit. Big fan of McHenry Drive-In. I'm not sure if I've been to the McHenry Drive-In. Any hidden secrets of Naperville, or hidden gems or rare spots? What would I say is... Well, they say the train station's haunted. They say the train station is haunted. Evidently, there was a train wreck in the, I don't know if it was the 30s or what have you, but a long time ago, and several people died, and there's a couple houses across the street that are supposed to be haunted. There was a tragedy that happened 30 years ago. I'm not going to bring it up because it's too morbid. It's too morbid, but that's kind of a hidden secret and kind of a haunted feeling thing. Good morning, Belinda. Belinda, where have you been? But anyway, it's about 8:40. I've talked for a while. It's been super fun. Life is treating me great, Belinda, and I hope it's treating you great as well. To sit in Naperville is on the Riverwalk near Hotel Indigo. Yeah, I do a lot of videos right across from there, and it's so beautiful. And what's neat about Hotel Indigo and that whole Water Street development in downtown Naperville, and I feel I'm getting too local, and I feel bad, but whatever, is it's just so pretty, and the brick coloring is different than most of Naperville, and the reflection from the hotel on the river is just so beautiful. Yeah, I'm fortunate to live in beautiful Naperville, and enjoy it a lot. All right, well, Brian, thank you for joining. Am I going to church today? I am not 100% sure. Heather Elaine liked a lot. I so appreciate you guys. And I so appreciate watch Toy Story 3 and give us a review. The final scene at the Biograph, the interiors of it were shot at the Portage Theater. I've been to the Biograph several times. I used to live in Chicago and went to the Biograph a lot. I think a lot of us know uh, what the Biograph's famous for. Speaking of the word shot, it was John Dillinger was killed right outside the Biograph by the feds in the 30s. Well, thank you, Belinda. I appreciate you guys so much for joining. And I'm looking forward to getting inside, getting a little warm, and enjoying my Sunday. And I hope you guys have had a wonderful weekend so far. And, well, Shannon, thank you for hopping on. Thank you, Not Original. I appreciate you all. I appreciate y'all for joining and hopping on and sharing a little bit of your Sunday and sharing a little bit of coffee with me. It means a lot to me that you follow along in my adventure and you have some coffee with me on a daily basis at 8 o'clock. I've had fun this morning, but I'm excited to get in and have a little breakfast and take on the day and just go at it. And I hope you are as well. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you had a great night's sleep. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.